What up, you guys? This is SamSemantic. Still getting birthday calls. I'm gonna do this video, and this should probably explain a lot of fuckery that's going on with the single mother shit. Unfortunately, like I'll be striking at a lot of these niggas. I'll be striking at a lot of the losers, the bottom feeders of black men. But it stems from just riding home last night from the club, and I was listening to the Black Diaspora. I believe that was Shaw's Willie Pete on there, and he brushed on the topic, and I usually brush on it as well, but I tend to see us skimming the shit, but just covering different patterns that we see as far as single mothers. But I'll just stick into detail on one, and it's basically the trap. You got to watch out for the man trap, the thug trap that's out there. A lot of the bitter single mothers, as they get older, we always talk about the aftermath, and we talk about how they make poor decisions, which is true. It's true. And I get mixed messages from a lot of women. They tell me, that the guy who she had the baby with told her that she was gonna be with him forever, and he told her, I love you, and we're gonna have a family and all this shit, right? But then I look at a lot of these women as well, and I ask them about their baby father. How many other kids does he have? And it's usually kids by other women, so it's obviously he's doing this shit to other people. On the man side, when you talk to a lot of these street thugs who have multiple kids, they tend to be a bit jealous. And from my experience and just doing my research, a lot of these guys, they'll say, well, versus the hood rat, versus the ratchet woman, because they, you ever hear them even in the rap music, they never want the ratchet thot. They always want the woman. They want the woman who's educated, the woman who, has a college education. At the very least, she has her high school diploma, 9 to 5, working hard, and these are the ones that they try to impregnate. And they do it for several reasons. And this is just not my analysis. This is just research and listening to a lot of these guys and what the fuck they're saying. They say it because they want a woman who can raise their kid just in case something happens to them. They get murdered in the street. They get locked up in prison. Then they potentially have someone who they can fall back on. And then, later on after they leave these women, this is another reason why I don't fuck around with single women, because there's always problems with the baby daddy issues and shit. You have these baby daddies who tell the woman, like, I don't want no niggas around my kids. And usually it's because these women have woken up and they can tell the difference between, like Saw says, the Ray Rays and Pookies versus the strong, intelligent, productive black men that we have, such as myself. So, I tend to leave the women alone and, let them go ahead and date down, keep continuing to date down and shit like that. Because even with the kids, once you have a guy like me around, I've dated single mothers, and, these kids were like, wow, Sam is nice. Sam is nice. He doesn't even curse. I've had children follow me around as they brought their, the mothers will bring their kids to the job, and they'll come by my desk and they'll see artwork and things like that, and they'll want to chill and hang around me during my lunch break and during my 15-minute breaks. And I'm talking about like kids in between the ages of 7 and 13. So initially these guys, they'll they'll see intelligent brothers out there. They'll see a woman who's working hard, and they're like, well, I gotta hurry up and get her pregnant. And then when she gets pregnant, she's no longer desirable like that anymore. She's not on the market. These guys are bottom feeders, and at the end of the day, they're selfish. I will admit, they're selfish. It's not like the man trap. Well, the man trap, it's hard to figure out like which one is worse than the other, and I'll let you guys decide, because with the man trap, it's usually the female is like, well, yeah, I gotta have a baby by him, because if something happens to him, I can get Social Security. He has a 9 to 5. He can provide child support. He has a career. Just in case something happens to me. And these are usually the women, like the brother said. These are the women who will look at intelligent black men and say, well, I can't mess with a guy like you because you seem like the type of guy that would want custody of the kid. So honestly, I would think that the female getting trapped is worse, because they got to carry that kid around. And my experience with one woman, she was college educated, beautiful girl, raised in a predominantly white neighborhood, had a few blacks around. Her mother and father were principals, and really liked the girl. She was real cool, right? So we kind of like lost contact, and next time I saw her, she was pregnant. Even being pregnant, she was a single mother, and the baby wasn't even born yet. Now the kid is like 3 years old, maybe 2 or 3 years old now. But she asked the baby's father, could they take a family picture, just with her and the kid, just so the kid would have something to reference as he got older, a picture with his mother and his father. So when you look at the father, I mean, he has tattoos all on his face, tattoos all on his arms and shit like that. So I asked him, like, is it because you made the wrong decision, or is it because this guy was just cool, he had swag and shit like that? Because I mean, this girl is a college educated female. But then again, like, I had to question some of the things about her, because there were some times when she had arguments with her mother, and her, she would come back and say, yeah, man, my mom, she called me a bitch, and I'm like, well, sometimes you do have bitchy ways about you. But she, no longer wants to be with her baby's father, and she also states that the baby's father has 2 other kids as well. So why would you do that shit? Because you don't have any kids. You didn't have any kids before, and you knew this guy had a kid or 2, and you decided to fuck around and have a baby by him. And I mean, that just answers my statement that I said before. I mean, even with the nerdy girls, the nerdy black girls who I went to school with, they saw the Keishas walking around in high school pregnant. They saw the Latashas walking around high school, fucking around, getting pregnant and shit by, the thugs, the Jamals and the Deshawns and shit like that, right? So then it's like, they have that that urge to be around, the thug nigga, which honestly, I understand that, females want a man with confidence. They want a man who can stand up for themselves. And, when you look at the thugs, that's basically what that symbolizes to them. All right. So you have the thug women, that's getting pregnant, the trap queens, they're getting pregnant by the thugs. And then you got the educated females that are out there, and their whole ideal of messing around with this guy is the fact that, well, I think I can love him better than Lakeisha can. I can love him better than they can. I can show him a nicer side and gentle, and you end up pregnant too. You end up being a single parent as well. And I mean, I believe that's the case with the whole Future and Sierra situation as well. Knowing that Future has kids by previous relationships, and then now all of a sudden, you want to fuck around with Future too. Granted, they all have money, they all have resources, including Russell Wilson, but the scenario is still the same. I want a man with confidence. I want a man who can stand up and fight for me and shit like that. And I'm going to show him a more gentle side, a more ladylike side than what Latasha can do. And they end up finding out that, you're going to end up in the same fucking boat. Which is why I leave a lot of these single women alone. Like I say, the guys are like, and I don't want those intelligent, independent black men around my kids. I don't want anyone around my kids. But then, you know, you look at them, they around fucking around with another quiet girl, you know, in the process of getting her pregnant too. So the female trap is really fucked up, man. Am I jealous of these niggas? No, I'm not. I'm a bit sad that that's how the situation is. You know, they've dampened the black community. You know, they've tainted a lot of these women, left a lot of these women bitter. I've talked to women who have kids by these same type of guys, and then at the end of it all, they want to go to the nice, quiet, calm female with 0 or maybe 1 kid, and they want to get married with her. You know, and you know, these women are bitter and shit behind it because, you know, they want to feel validated as well. You know, it's a really sad situation, man. So I won't make this video too long. There's a little bit more that I did want to say, but I forgot it. I honestly did. I forgot it. But I wanted to give a quick shout out to Shaw's Willie Pete, man. You know, that video was long as hell, but it covered a lot of topics, and you know, just that one topic in regards to the female being trapped, and you know, I just thought that it just needed to be broken down in a little more detail, you know. And you know, like I have no love for these thugs. I have no love for them at all either. So I'll probably just leave it there. There's something else I was just thinking about. I know a couple guys who are in the streets heavy with no kids, and some of these guys are in their early 30s and they don't have any kids, but you know, the plot thickens even with them. When, you know, you look at the females that they fuck around with, it's usually you know, the females who have kids, who have money from welfare and Section 8. And the reason why they live with these guys is, well, the reason why they live with these females is because you know, they don't have a job. You know, they can't put anything in their name. So maybe I'll get on that video into detail later on. So this is Sam Sim. I want to go ahead and check out, man. You guys be cool. Peace.